All right, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Good morning, everyone. My name is Drew Embury, and welcome to our Knowledge Education Series event, Increase Your Productivity with Microsoft Word. We found there's a lot happening in the technology industry, and it can be overwhelming to business people. So we hope these sessions can bring some clarity to some of the different technology buzzwords that are being used in the industry today, or help you get some more out of some tools you already own. The topic we're going to be covering today is increasing productivity with Microsoft Word. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Drew Embury, and I'm a partner here at P&L Technology. My role is to set the technical direction for our company and clients and help you get the most out of your technology investment. I'm really excited for this topic today, and we have a very high attendance, which I think really speaks to the popularity and relevance of this topic, and the desire of business people to learn how to get a little more about investments they've already made. Here's an overview of how this will work. This is a listen-only event, and it will be recorded. We know everyone is busy, and we're going to commit to a 30-minute maximum time for this event. If you have questions, please use the chat function to send them in, and we will save time at the end to address as many as we can. Following the session, we will introduce a future topic that we hope you will be interested in learning more about. You will also be receiving an email as well that will contain a short survey that we hope you will take the time to fill out and return to us, as it will assist us in making future sessions more informative. This webinar is created for a broad audience with both novice and intermediate users of Microsoft Word in mind. So we'll hope you find this session valuable and helpful to your business. If you're like me, you spend a lot of your time working in Microsoft Word, creating and editing documents that are used both internally by our coworkers and externally by our customers and clients. So if we can show you some new tricks, some features, a new workflow that can save you just 10 to 15 minutes a day, lower some hassle for you, or make the documents you create in Microsoft Word richer or more appealing, this webinar will be well worth it. Many of the ideas for this webinar came from questions that we get asked by our clients on a frequent basis. So hopefully some of the same questions are had by many of you on this webinar today. To benefit from this webinar, commit to yourself to taking at least one new thing that you learned today that you feel you can incorporate into your daily routine to either get more out of Microsoft Word or save you some time. And if you can do more than one thing, even better. Today we are going to be using Microsoft Word version 2010, as that is the most common version across our clients. Most of this material will also apply to version 2007 as well, or the new version 2013. If you don't currently have 2010 or higher, though, this is an upgrade that is well worth the investment. So see me afterwards if you'd like to get a quote for your organization. So what are we going to cover today? Well, we're going to show you how to save time creating documents using pre-built templates. We're going to show you how to paste content from other sources, such as a website or other document, while automatically changing formatting. We're going to convert some existing text in the document to a nicely formatted table to improve the visual style of our documents. And we're going to add some interesting visual elements to our document using SmartArt. We're going to make some internal company documentation complete with screenshots of our work. And finally, we're going to add some encryption to documents to keep our documents safe and away from unauthorized sources. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to switch to sharing my desktop so you can watch me demonstrate these capabilities. You may want to switch your ReadyTalk window to full screen to get the maximum amount of screen space. Okay, you all now should be seeing a copy of Microsoft Word, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So as we discussed, the first feature we're going to demonstrate today is how to use the Microsoft Word template library to save time. Nobody really seems to have enough time in their day anymore, but at the same time we still want all of our documents to look nice and convey a level of professionalism. But creating nice looking documents can take quite a bit of time. So did you know that Microsoft has a large library of pre-built templates you can build from? So let's take a look at some of those templates now. To use those, we're going to go over here to the File menu. And we're going to go to New. And then over here you can see the office.com templates. So let's say, for example, I need to create a brochure for a trade show I'm going to. So I can see here that we've got some brochures that are already pre-made. And again, the brochures folder. And we're in the technology business, so I can see here a technology business brochure. It's a 2-page brochure. So I'll go ahead and double-click that. It's going to download the template automatically from Microsoft's website. It'll take just a minute. And then there you see I've got kind of a pre-built template with just kind of some filler words and things. And what I can do, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here. Is now I can type and put my own content in here. I can work to change these logos. Maybe resize some things. Add my own address down in here. Really just go ahead and work from that template and get it working and looking the way I want it to look. So let's take a look at a couple of other templates. So we're done with this one. So we'll go ahead and do another new document. And say, for example, we're putting together a conference for some of our salespeople, and we need to put an agenda together for that. So for that, we'll go to the agenda template here. And then we'll see here they already have a pre-built conference agenda with tracks. So we'll open that up. And so there, now you see we have a nice shaded, color-coded item with all of the things that we can fill out for our conference agenda. So in this case, I not want my logo on that, so I'll take that off. Maybe I'll just type sales conference agenda there. I can go ahead and come in here and edit these times to the right times I need. Maybe change the name of the different tracks. And with very, very little work, I've got a really nice looking agenda for my conference that I didn't have to spend a lot of time laying out. Another example of this would be maybe I need to come up with a timesheet. So again, I'll go create a new document. I notice down here they have some pre-built timesheet templates. I'll double-click that and click timesheet. Again, it'll download the template, and then now I have a timesheet. I can change this the way I need to and have it work and ready for my organization. Another nice thing about templates is it sometimes can expose you to features that maybe you weren't aware of or ideas you didn't think of. So you'll notice here they've got a date picker built in. By clicking on that, hitting the down arrow, it's got a built-in calendar. I may have never thought to use that before. So by using the templates, I get exposed to new features that I wasn't necessarily aware of. So I guess the takeaway I wanted to leave with you is anytime you need to create a new document, it's well worth it to take a quick look at the template library to see if there's a pre-built template there to save you some work. I'm going to go ahead and close these examples down. In the same vein of templates, you can also create your own templates and then use those for your organization. So I'll show you one that we've created, and it's a proposal template we've created. And so what we did is we had our graphics design company come up with a nice-looking color scheme and some nice-looking graphics, and we've worked it into a template. So anytime we need to do a proposal going forward, we've got this template pre-built, and we can type in the name of the company we're presenting to. And the name of the person that we're presenting to. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and use this template for our next step. And the next step we're going to discuss is removing formatting when pasting content from another document or website. So I used to run in this all the time, and I used to have to attack this manually. And I just recently actually discovered this feature, so I thought it would be something that you all could benefit from as well. So a tricky challenge we run into is when we need to create a new document, but we need to paste in information that is contained in other sources. So sources like a website or documents we've received from maybe a vendor of ours or other internal company documents that somebody else created. Oftentimes these documents use different fonts, different sizes, different styles. So when we paste it in, everything looks a little different. It's kind of funny or unprofessional. So, the solution in the past for me was to go in and change all the fonts and styles manually, which is very tedious. So fortunately, there's a trick to making this work. And the way you do that is simply highlight the pasted text and then hold down Control and press the space bar. If you do that, the pasted text will take on the fonts and styles that you already specified in the document. So let's take a look at how this works. I've got a document here already that I received from a vendor. And it says, Drew, here is the specs on the equipment we discussed. And you'll notice that, it's in a kind of a bolded, kind of a fancy font. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this document, and I'm going to put it into my nice professional proposal document here. So now you'll see that, that just doesn't look right. The font up here is a nice, clean font, professional font, and this is kind of another crazy font. So I'm going to highlight this. And I'm going to hold down Control and press space, just like we discussed, and you'll notice it automatically reformats into the style of the document I pasted into. So a great little shortcut, and really something almost everybody can take and go forward with. So the next step we're going to show is, now that we've pasted this information into our document, we want to put this into a proposal, and that's kind of hard to read the way it's laid out and the way it was sent to me. So what I'm going to do is we'd like to convert this into a table so it looks real nice. And there is a great way to save time to create text like this and turn it into a table. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight all of this text. And to convert it to a table, we're going to go to the Insert tab up here. And we see the table function here. We're going to click that on the drop-down. And we're going to choose this Convert Text to Table function. When we do that, we'll see it automatically pulls up the Convert Text to Table window. I am going to select Tabs here. You'll notice that automatically selects that I've got 2 columns and 11 rows. And that should do it for me. I'm going to click OK. Now you'll notice it's automatically converted that text into a nicely formatted table for me. So now that we've got the text in the table, we can do a few things. One is we can go ahead and resize this column. So I'll just go ahead and hover over the column and drag it, make it look a little bit better. Perhaps we want to add a column. So I'll right-click here and go to Insert, and we'll do a column to the right. And then maybe I can make maybe add a header onto the table as well. So again, I'll right-click, and I'll do Insert, and I'll insert a row above. So now I can add a header on here. I can maybe label this as type, maybe label this as description, and I'll label this as severity, perhaps. Maybe I'll add some shading to my table. So I'll right-click here in my table and go down to Borders and Shading. And we'll add some shading, maybe a nice gray. Oops. Actually, I just wanted to shade just this. And maybe I'll bold my header there. All right, since I added the severity, I can put maybe label these things in the order in which they're important to my customer to do. So now I've pasted information from the vendor. I formatted it into a nice table. We've added some columns, and we've done that very, very quickly with very, very little work. So let's go ahead now and let's look at some other things we can do. I'm going to go ahead and add another page here to my document. And we're going to show you a great way to punch up your documents using a feature called SmartArt. So this is another really cool feature I've just recently started using. And I found it to be a really quick and easy way to visually punch up my client-facing documentation and more effectively communicate data to others using pictures. So to use the SmartArt feature, again, we're going to go to the Insert tab here, and then you'll see the SmartArt feature here. So I'm going to go ahead and add in, so I want to convey one of our our core values that we use in our company here. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and use a pyramid to do that. And I'll click OK. So now you'll notice there it opens up a pyramid, and I can type in the text I want into this. So I'm going to go ahead and make some labels. And maybe we'll adjust the fonts a little bit on this SmartArt. Let's see here. Oops. So now you see we've got a nice looking triangle, and I'm conveying to my prospect, the three things that we feel have to be in place for technology to work, people, infrastructure, and execution. So let's take a look at another piece of SmartArt. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Insert again and SmartArt. And this time I'm going to choose a matrix, and I'll choose maybe this looking matrix here. So again, we can type the text we want. So maybe we want to convey to our customers that in order for them to have their business running smoothly, they need their IT, accounting, sales, and customer service. So there you see we've created a nice graphic that we're able to put into our demonstrations that addresses our talking points and really adds a nice visual element to your presentations or your internal documents. So what I would encourage you to do is if you have something you need to convey that can be better done with a graphic or a chart, go into the SmartArt feature and see if you can find something that works well for you and you can take forward to use. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add another page here. So the next thing we're going to cover is creating internal documentation for your company. So a lot of times we're creating documents, process documents for our company. I'll go ahead and close this. That we want to convey steps to a coworker on how they need to complete something. So having quality documentation is very important to business people. And while simply writing out the processes is great, what's even better is adding the visual aids to the documents to help in this teaching process. And since much of the work we do today is on the computer, these visual aids are very helpful if they include what we call a screenshot. So there are two ways to add screenshots to your document, and both have their uses. So the first way we're going to demonstrate is to use what's called the snipping tool that's built into Windows 7. So I'm creating an internal document here, we'll say, for my company, and I want to show people how to change their password in Microsoft Office 365. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and create, maybe I'll start with just a numbered list. So log into portal.microsoftonline.com. Click the profile button, change your password. So I could have that, and probably people could get around, but maybe it'd be a lot better if I added a screenshot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, and I've already got the portal.microsoftonline.com, and then up here you see the My Profile button. And here's the area to change password, but maybe it just doesn't jump out, so I want to kind of make it jump out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the snipping tool, and to do that, we just go to the Start button. We go to Programs. We go to Accessories here. And then here we see the snipping tool. As soon as I open the snipping tool, it's going to gray out my screen, as you can see there. And what I'm going to do is just take this arrow, and I'm going to drag around just what I want to convey. So I'm going to drag maybe just this amount here. So there you'll see it opens up just what I dragged in my snipping tool here, and it allows me to draw on it. So I'm going to draw attention to the Change Password button. I'll just kind of draw a little circle around there. And I'll go ahead and copy that. I'll go back to my document. And I will paste in the screenshot. And of course I can take it here, I can resize it. Maybe I can add a C graphic below. So there you see you've created a nice document that actually adds some visual elements and really shows people what to do rather than telling them, which can be very handy. There's also a second way to do this. Let me go ahead and close this stuff down. And what we can do is use Microsoft Word's built-in screenshot tool. So to do that, we'll simply go to Insert, and then here you'll see Screenshot. So I'll hit the down arrow, and then it tells me available windows. So I'll find the window I want to screenshot. Say for example, it's this Microsoft Word reminder here. So I'll go ahead and click the reminder, and there you'll see that that it's clicked in that window for me, and I can put information or just type whatever I need to. Can't type today. So there you'll see that we've added screenshots from our computer into real applications that maybe our coworkers use into a document that they can then use. So now that we've created all these documents, sometimes we have documents maybe that have sensitive information in them. Maybe we've got, perhaps it's a document that we need to email to somebody that we just have to make sure it stays secure. Or perhaps it's a document with something like company salary information in it that we need to keep on our file server. But we want to add an extra layer of security so we're extra sure that the information does not get accessed by unauthorized people. So what we're going to show you now is how to fully encrypt a Microsoft Office document. So before we get started, I do have to give a note of caution with this. Be very careful when using this feature. If you do forget the password, not even your IT team will be able to recover this information for you if you forget the password, because it really is a very strong encryption. So to use this feature, what we want to do is we want to go to the File menu here, and we want to click this Protect Document function. So when I click that, it's going to open up a menu, and now we see here Encrypt with Password. So we're going to go ahead and click that. I'll set the password just to Drew, my name. It's going to ask us to re-enter it just to make sure we get it right. And now we've added encryption to that document. We'll go ahead and save it, and I'll close it out here. And now you'll notice when I open the document, it goes to prompt me for a password. If I don't have the password, it won't let me open it. I'll go ahead and type my password in here, and we're back in. To remove the protection, if you no longer need a document encrypted, you follow basically the same steps. Go here to Protect Document, Encrypt with Password, and then just blank out the password is all you need to do. Now, when we save it, and we'll close it, and come back in, and you'll notice it lets me open it without a password. All right, well one final tip I'll show you, and this will be a real quick one, and the only reason I bring it up is because we do get asked this fairly frequently from our customers, is there is a built-in thesaurus in Microsoft Word. So let's go ahead and find an area here. So I know everybody knows how to use spell check, but we did want to let you know there is a thesaurus available too. So say, for example, I have the word consequential. If I want to find a synonym for that, if I don't feel it's quite the right word, I can highlight that word. There's two ways I can get to it. Probably the easiest is just to right-click and go to Synonyms here, and then you'll see automatically a bunch of synonyms come up. We can set the word, maybe we want to use momentous instead. Automatically changes it to that word. So now with this feature, you too can actually sound smarter than you actually are, just like me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch away for, let's see here. And we've kind of come to the end of our demonstration. We were at about 25 minutes, and I did promise to leave plenty of time at the end for questions and answers. So let's go ahead and take some of those now. Let me see what we've had chatted in here. Okay, this is a good one. I can never figure out how to add page numbers to my documents. Can you show me how to do this? Absolutely, that's a great question. To do that, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and click back here to sharing mode, and everybody should see my, my screen again. So I've got a footer here in this document, and oftentimes that's where we put page numbers into the footer. So I'm going to go ahead and double click this footer here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Insert, and let's see here, page numbers right here. So we click page numbers, and we can get bottom of page, and then we can see kind of the different styles. So I'll maybe choose this style here, and there you see it's added page 5 to my footer. Up here, page 4, page 3, page 2. And if I go and add a new page, so I'll do an insert page break, you'll notice my new page automatically has 6, so it just kind of automatically takes that over for you. The next question is, let's see, I often get documents from my attorney that are marked confidential. I would also like to create documents like this. How would I do that? Let me think. So, you could certainly always already on your first page you could put confidential, but there is another way to do that, and that's to use what's called a watermark. So to add a watermark to your documents, what you want to do is you want to go to this page layout feature here, and somewhere, oh, here it is. There's a watermark, and then there's a bunch of watermarks pre-built. So draft, sample, confidential. We'll go ahead and choose confidential. And you'll notice now on every page we've got that confidential watermark that doesn't obscure the text, but it does let people know that that is a confidential document. So just when using this feature, just remember that that is a visual, just a visual cue only, and if you really need to protect it, you probably want to look at using maybe like the encryption feature that we used earlier. Okay, we did have a question to please go over switching the font briefly. Which keys were those? So that was, you want to hold down Control and click space. While you do that, you do want to highlight the text that you want to switch, and then hold down Control and click space. Okay, another question we had is when you were doing the templates, were you copying and pasting the templates or just going into them and saving changes? So what I was doing is I was downloading a new template from Microsoft Office, depending on what I wanted to do, and then I would make it my own. So the template is really just a starting spot. You would go in, you would download the template, make all of the changes you wanted to make to it, and then you would save it as your, you would name it as the document name that you wanted to, and then you would save it, just save it as you would a normal Word document. Another question we had is there a template for business form letters? I am not certain. I have not used that. I've used the other templates a lot. Maybe we can just go in here and take a peek. So we'll go to, let's see, we'll go to New. It looks like most of the templates are more layout type documents, but what I would recommend is just using a Google search and search for business Microsoft Word templates, and you're surely able to find something along those lines. We did have another. It looks like we're getting a lot of questions around templates still, which is great. We had one question: is there a template for a newsletter? And absolutely there is. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to sharing mode. We're flipping back and forth here a few times. So now you can see I'm on the templates again. Here you see newsletters. So by double-clicking that, you'll see all these different newsletters. Here's kind of a newsletter that looks like it's formatted for a school and that kind of style. Family Christmas newsletters, professional services newsletters, business newsletters. So let's maybe choose one of those. And again, it'll take a few minutes to download or a few seconds to download. And then there you see a nice looking business newsletter where you can just key in your author names, your titles, add your company address, and change out the clip art if you need to, and have a newsletter kind of ready to go. Okay, I think we've kind of come to the end of our questions here, and we're right at 32 minutes on this presentation. So we're running short of time. If you do have additional questions, please feel free to call or email me. My email address is there on the screen. We will be sending the recording of this event out, so please pass it along to anybody you think can benefit from this material. We will also be posting it on our website at www.pltechnology.com. So we hope you enjoyed this session and look forward for you to joining on future events. Our next Knology event is Protect and Keep Your Internet Secure with Fortinet. So what this would be great for is if you've ever had employees that maybe are spending too much time on the Internet, that you need to report on what's going on, you're concerned about staff accessing maybe inappropriate websites in the workplace, or you need to add another layer of protection in against online viruses and online spyware. The Fortinet Internet Security Solution is designed to address all of those types of solutions. So if you'd like to join us for those events, for this event, please go to www.pltechnology.com/events, and you will be able to register for that event. We will also have an invite going out for it a few weeks before the event, which is at June 4th at 10 a.m. Central Time. We're going to go ahead and wrap up here today. Thank you for joining us, and have a great rest of your day.